So we'll lock that in, look at that. Right, that is tight. It's gone nowhere, no screws, no steel bits, nothing. Fits extremely well. Go on guys, it's just Kurt here. I'm going to do an install of our Strzelecki system onto the DRZ400. That's the same principle, all bikes. This system does have the BaseLock fitted. This has been on other bikes. It's been on a Ténéré 700. It's been on a KOVE 450, and it's been on a KOVE 800. And it's also been on a CFMoto 800 MTX, which is the same as the CFMoto 1000. What I would do here, you can see it sitting out a bit there, but we have our internal sides here, and what we do, we pull it out and we cone roll them over at the top, and that'll mold to your seat. Better and easier in warmer climates, but that's, you know, that's not hard. And what that does, you slot it back in, and the BaseLock underneath it, it's the same principle when you're fitting it up. Once it's molded to your bike, that's it, it's molded to your bike. And you get some Ks on it, we cone that over, we slot that in. I can see that already, how much it's sitting down. My bags are already fit. I have used the clipless system. I recommend the clipless system purely because if you have a crash, nothing's going to break, and these things are super strong. These bags are really strong. Like, you can drag them down the road and you won't punch a hole in them. So if you've got no clips on the outside there, you have an off, there's nothing to break. The clipless system works. It holds the bags really well. So that's what I recommend, but however you set your luggage system up is totally up to you. You might want to do the clip-off system. Clip-off system works. It just depends on how hard you're riding and the style of riding you're doing. If you're doing rally, or if you're just doing simple adventure riding or whatever, it's totally optional. Or, you know, if you live in areas you don't want to leave anything on your bike, you just lift the whole system off. And I'll fit this up, and this is going to be a slow demonstration, but maybe give it 60 seconds. But you know, for a system that needs no steel attachments, no drilling into your bike, lightweight, you know, right. So what I'll do is I'll line this up just so it's sitting in front of my axle there, and I've got enough seating room. Find your position where you like it, sit on your bike, just have it and adjust it that way. And once you've got this set up once, that's it guys. You don't have to do it again, and then it just becomes part of the bike, and you forget you even have luggage on if you set it up properly. I'll do the rear attachment points first. So these are long, you trim these to your bike once you've got it set up. These are replaceable. So this one, I'll use the rack on this one. All right, so I'm in front of my axle. That's really important, having the weight in front of your axle, because what happens, it reduces the pendulum, so there's no weight over the rear of the axle to push the bike down, and so it exacerbates, you know, the up and down of your suspension. It does actually make a huge difference, regardless of what others may tell you. That is a real thing, the pendulum. It's way under 5 kilos, complete with roll bag and everything. So I'm just doing my rears. I'm going to bring up on the sides to do the side ones. So there you go. Now this is about where I want it, but what I would do normally is I'll sit on my bike and let's get it set up. So these bags have no weight in it. All right, so yeah, I'd probably go back. If they have weight in them, if the bags have weight, they sit out and back a bit, but with no weight, they're a bit, yeah, they feel a bit flimsy, but they're not flimsy. So I'm there, so I'll pull that back a little bit more. I'll check my axle. So you can see down here, let's stand the bike up a bit. There's my axle there, that's my line. I'm still way in front of it. So now what we're going to do, we're going to attach this side up into the top here on the Strzelecki. So let's do that now. Okay, so what I've got here is the lower strap. I'll come behind the frame like that. You can see us pulled that into the bike. I'll come into my top attachment point here. Let's do the same on the other side. I'm not going to lock it all in yet. Let's jump over the other side and have a look. Okay, so now I'm on the other side of the bike. I'm not going to use the attachment point. I come behind the frame. I come up into the top attachment point over here, which has gone and stuck under my BaseLock. I come and stick it up into this one. So I come in there. It's all looking like it's sitting up a bit, but it's fine. So if you look here where the axle is, I'm still in front of it both sides. So what I'm going to do now is set my backs. I'm going to just get that set so it's right, because I've sat on the bike. I like the position of it now, and we're just going to lock it in at this point. All right, guys. So this is my position. That's where I've got it. Okay. Now these rear straps, you can either roll them up and put a cable tie through them and keep them long. You get 4 of these in your kit. You get 2 spares. We will have spares kits for our rackless systems in 2026, so you can always buy more. So feel confident in trimming these. Just cut it on an angle and singe it with a cigarette lighter. Or if you don't want to cut that, the reason why you would trim this and singe it is so you can just slide it off really easy. All right, so you don't have to pull this whole strap out every time. So, you know, essentially we're doing, you know, we're threading that whole bit out. I leave this really long just purely for adjustment purposes. They don't have to be this long, but that's just the way I do it. I'd rather have more than not enough. But there wouldn't be many bikes where you use most of this. Well, none that I know of that we've done fittings to. So my rears are in, okay? So now let's do the sides. Okay, so I'll just move my roll bag. That's my roll bag strap there, and these are the fuel bladder attachment points. So I'll get that out of the way so you don't get confused. We'll get this out of the way. There's no weight in these, again, so they look a bit loose. But with no weight in them, you're probably better to fit it without weight. I'll just make sure it's centered. So then I just pull this down, pull that down, pull this down. I'll do it evenly. Now this is the same principle, every bike, big bike, small bike, doesn't matter. And once you've got weight, it'll also pull it down. So if you want to pull this through a bit more there, oh, that's getting caught on my fairing, but that's all right. We can pull that around like that, and we can pull that down. And then same with this one, it's caught on my fairing a bit. So I'll push that in, pull it up, push it down. Right. Now with these straps, I recommend not trimming them unless you're not going to change bikes, but as adventure riders, we do tend to change bikes a lot. And that's why our panniers also fit on pannier racks. They are modular. And we've had many customers say, oh man, I'll put my panniers on my GS and I'll put them on my smaller bike. So look how tight that is there. And that's got no weight in it. And it hasn't settled down. Once you've been riding for a little while, these things settle down. Now you can put a strap tidy on these straps. I don't. I literally stick them up underneath there. But if you want to use strap tidies, go for it. There's some in the kit when it comes. They're on those little clip-off things. There's lots of little bits and pieces in there you can use. And that is installed. So we'll lock that in. Look at that. All right, that is tight. It's gone nowhere, no screws, no steel bits, nothing. Fits extremely well. All right guys, so we've got that fit up beautifully. And then we put our roll bag on, if you're running a roll bag, or if you're running a fuel bladder and you've got one of these narrower seats, narrow across the back, stick your fuel bladder on top there. If you're not using it, if it's empty, and then we just click in our 4 attachment points for our roll bag. There, that's got nothing in it as well. It's a bit, so it folds down a bit. But if you've got a narrow seat and you're carrying a fuel, our utility bladders just folded over like that. So let's remove it. I'll show you how fast it is to remove this system from your bike now. All right, so roll bag off. That's it, there's nothing in there. It's just chuck that on the ground. Rear attachment straps. Now, if these are trimmed, you don't have to feed this through. So we pull one out. If they're trimmed to size, you don't have to worry about it. So that's 2. We do the front attachment point on one side. That's 3. We'll slide that out. It's falling over like that because it's all empty. There's no weight in it, so there's nothing to hold it down. Having weight in it holds it down. That's 4. Pull them up. There you go, you're off. That's it, that's how quick it is. And that's while I was demonstrating it and talking about it. If you're fitting up, whether it's a small bike, a big bike, it's all the same principle. For this bike here, for the DRZ, you can see how close the exhaust is to the chassis of the bike. So obviously that's going to hit it. The exhaust heat shield you will not get any heat coming from that. That is made from a stainless steel. No heat will transfer through that onto our luggage systems. So heat shield, if you're up in this vicinity, usually the Japanese bikes, the CFMotos and stuff have their own built-in heat shields. Different bikes have different things. KTMs sometimes have it, sometimes don't. All right guys, beauty. There you go, that's installing the Strzelecki system onto a smaller style adventure bike. Beauty. I'll see you on the next one.